Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. So let me start off by saying that if you hear pinging or a banging noise during this video, that's water dripping out of the trees over the shop onto the tin roof. I normally don't record when this is happening, but today it seems kind of fitting. I also want to point out that despite the fact that what I'm about to say is going to sound like something out of a dystopian novel, this is not a satire video. Today, we're going to talk about futures, like corn futures, wheat futures, oil futures, a new kind of futures, water futures, because that's a thing now. Water futures. If you don't know what futures are, super basic way of looking at it, it's a contract that allows a large consumer of something to lock in a price of a commodity and the seller to lock in a price of a commodity. Also allows people to position themselves based on whether they think that price is going to go up or down in the future. Opens the door for speculation. Now, when people talk about this, they're going to point out the good things, and there are some. It will help large farmers kind of guess what their water costs are going to be in the future. It'll be a good tool for discovering how much you should pay or how much you should sell for. There's going to be a lot of talk about this and trying to frame it in a way that is really positive. But at the end of the day, one of the really important things to realize here is that price fluctuations are what make a market like this. And those fluctuations are caused by supply and demand. This is a really good indication that some pretty smart people see large fluctuations in the supply and demand of water. It's probably worth noting. This little instrument, this little tool, is going to be based on the NASDAQ-Valez California Water Index. The symbol is NQH2O, if you want to look into it. Came on the scene around 2018 at about 370. I want to say now it's hanging out around 500. Pretty significant increase. Right now, 2 billion people in the world face water scarcity, water insecurity issues. By a lot of estimates, 2/3 of the world's population will face water shortages by 2025. That is not some distant year. That is right around the corner. Because while the world is covered in water, only 3 to 4% of it is fresh. And a whole lot of that is really hard to get to. So this is something that's on the horizon. And there are a whole bunch of ways to look at this information. You can look at it in the sense of, it's something we need to get prepared for. We need to have a good gauge. You can look at it in the sense of the fact that 2/3 of the world's population is going to face water shortages, and in a truly American spirit, somebody found a way to profit on it. But I think most relevant to the people watching this is that this is a really good tool. You want to find the silver lining to the fact that we now live in the setting to some movie or book that we do not want to be in. This is a good tool because there are a whole lot of people out there that do not believe this issue is real. There is a whole futures market dedicated to water now. That's a thing. It exists. For those people who talk to others about climate change, environmental degradation, this should probably come up. Because this is one of those things that you can point to. It is concrete. These are titans of industry here. They're saying we need to start paying attention to this. if they're doing it, that may sway people who don't want to take this seriously. So yeah, there's some pretty unnerving elements to this, but it's also handing us a tool that we can use to show people, no, the impacts of this are real, and they are going to affect us. We should probably engage in some changes before these numbers get too high for the average person. Anyway, it's just a thought. Y'all have a good day.